But now, let's bring you the story that has to do with Asante Kotoko and their former coach, Maxwell Konadu. On March 4, Maxwell Konadu reported Asante Kotoko to the Ghana Football Association Player Status Committee. According to him, Kotoko unilaterally terminated a 2-year contract he had with them. He had exhausted one, and they was left with 1 year. After losing to Great Olympics, he was sacked on December 17, 2020. Kotoko, in their defense to the Player Status Committee, indicated that they sacked Maxwell for a cause because they felt that he was not the man who was going to deliver them to the height they were seeking to achieve. The Player Status Committee held 2 meetings to arrive at their conclusion, and they've asked Kotoko to pay $41,000 to Maxwell Konadu. Konadu had asked that they should give him $60,000 compensation for damages, but the Status Committee say they couldn't find any justifiable reason that they could give him that money. Now, this is an area of interest to so many Asante Kotoko fans because in the meeting that transpired before the Status Committee came out with the ruling, the chairman of that committee lives in London. He's been in London for 6 whole months. However, his vice chairman is in the country. So most of the meetings, they met via video call. Interestingly, 2 people on the committee voted against Maxwell Konadu, but 3 voted in favor of Maxwell Konadu. So the other person who was supposed to sign the letter that says that Maxwell Konadu has been granted the reliefs he was asking for, said he was ill and could not sign it. And that is the vice chairman of the committee. He's called Cornelius R02. According to him, he was ill and could not sign it. So when the ruling came out on April 1, the GFA were unable to make it public because they needed it signed. And the vice chairman was unwilling to sign. Yesterday, the GFA got frustrated and decided to scan the letter and send it to the chairman of the Status Committee who lives in London. That is Ishaq Al-Hassan. He signed it and sent it back to the Ghana Football Association before it was published. The ruling was arrived at on April 1, but they could not make it public. Ishaq had to take a copy and sign simply because our sources indicate to us that the vice chairman, who was not in support of the ruling, said he was not going to sign it. He said he was ill, but sources say he was not ill. That's what made the GFA very frustrated. Now let's take a look at what the GFA have said. The GFA Player Status Committee said that in the opinion of the GFA Player Status Committee, whether there is a just cause, it must be established in a case-by-case basis. They say all breaches of the contractual obligations do not give the counterparts just cause for termination. Even if the football club or the football coach fails to fulfill contractual obligation, it might not give the other party the right to terminate the contract. The commentary edition of FIFA's transfer regulations seen in connection with extensive jurisprudence from FIFA decision bodies and cards show that a contractual breach either must be material, persist for a long time, or is cumulated with other violations over a certain period. So Maxwell Konadu was given 3 reliefs, which has to do with the residual value of his contract, which is $36,000, $30,000 sign-on fee, and 2,000 Ghana cedis match bonuses. That's all time will permit us for AM Sports on the AM show. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi.